This is a movie takes place in another time and another place with unbelievable visual and special effects.
The Matrix is a science fiction film, but it's also an action-adventure film. You see things that are fantastic. And you say, well, wait a second, that's impossible.
Freeze it. When they explained to me the kind of movie that they were trying to make, I got really fired up about it because nobody's made this kind of movie before.
It's synthesizing evolution, acting in the construct, giving flesh to a cartoon, soul to a machine.
The movie takes place somewhere in the distant future. It is a time when computers rule the world.
You have a world of people who believe they're real, but actually they're not. They're living inside a computer program. And there are a number of other people within that who are trying to liberate those people from their captivities.
It's about the idea we take everything for granted.
And other times it feels like it's about hope and love and belief.
It's about robots versus kung fu.
And there's some crazy action.
Sydney's a beautiful town. I gotta tell you, I've never seen nothing quite like it.
What unemployed actor wouldn't want 5 months in Australia?
That's better.
Filming on a location in Sydney is actually a pleasure. We're in a great city that's got a lot to offer and a very professional crew.
Well, here we are in Sydney in a beautiful new facility. This stage is literally brand new. We're the first movie in the stage. And we moved in here to build these sets. The paint was wet on the walls. I mean, it literally, do not touch the walls, they're wet.
Powder all backlit.
Is it okay if I kind of come forward?
It's always a difficult thing to ask anybody where do you get your ideas from. Nobody knows. They just sort of happen. A friend of ours asked us to come up with a concept for a comic book. We liked kung fu movies.
We like Japanimation.
We like,
John Woo movies
and books that are, science fiction that is about the sort of nature of reality.
You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world as it exists today.
What's interesting about the whole idea of cyberpunk is that it's a great way to create a sense of alienation and disconnection and alternate worlds being caught in sort of these quasi-dream, quasi-conscious states.
Or you want me up like this? That's the one. That's the look.
I first met Larry and Andy when I read Assassins, and it really was an incredible script. It was a very dark, edgy piece of material, and I really was impressed with that style. And they showed me this animated Japanese cartoon, and they said, we want to do that for real. And and that was an incredible idea to me. I mean, to actually see that animation come to life, and believe me, essentially it has.
We've had our eye on you for some time now, Mr. Anderson. In one life, you're Thomas A. Anderson, program writer for a respectable software company. The other life is lived in computers, where you go by the hacker alias Neo and are guilty of virtually every computer crime we have a law for.
I play a man named Thomas Anderson who's looking for a man named Morpheus who's played by Lawrence Fishburne. I'm searching for the answer to a question. The question is, what is the Matrix? My character feels that the answer to this question will somehow make sense of his life.
At last. My character is called Morpheus. And Morpheus is a person who lives in the real world. And he's the leader of this band of people looking for the one. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind.
He is this like fevered missionary guy. He's a zealot. We think there's something dangerous about people who believe they have the truth, and they do sort of act blindly.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
There's a couple references to Alice in Wonderland in the movie. I think that is a brilliant book. She comes into this world and there are all this craziness, and people just give her things and say, eat this, drink this, and everything affects her and changes her, and nothing makes sense, nothing's logical. It's the way you have to do it, and we tried to do that with the beginning of the film.
The thing that I love about Trinity is that I'm portraying someone who's really, really strong and who has a real mission and a real purpose.
Can you fly that thing?
Not yet.
Operator.
Tank, I need a pilot program for a B-212 helicopter. She's a warrior, yet I don't think that she's lost being a woman.
Son. Oh, shit. Agent Smith is the law enforcement, and he's a seemingly invincible machine who develops these wonderful human frailties.
There was an accident. Goddamn car accident. Cypher was a strong disciple of Morpheus. But now I've had second thoughts. Did he tell you why he did it? Why you're here? Jesus. What a mind job. So you're here to save the world.
You go from the 150 to...
Speaking about Larry and Andy together as a pair, as a team of writers, I liken them to the Brothers Grimm. I have to imagine that that's what the Brothers Grimm were like.
Oh, God. Somebody's going to be here.
They work very well together. They've got a wonderful sense of humor. So you do get a dialogue happening that is normally just within the one director's head. So it's normally one director talking to themselves, working out a problem and then expressing their solution to that problem. Whereas with Larry and Andy, you'll see the dialogue going on.
They're just like real guys, and there's none of that kind of Hollywood thing is not evident at all. You know, they're from Chicago, you know. They wear shorts, they wear baseball hats, they watch basketball games, they love movies, they love, you know, they get so excited. There's nothing greater than doing a scene for them and for them to get excited.
One day, one day I will no longer just be a computer nerd. I will be a superhero. They seek and search for clarity. They're very thoughtful, and yet they're very. They have a wonderful sense of humor.
It's really you know, unusual that directors are so sure of what they want. They write the script, they know exactly what they want, they know exactly what angle they want to see it at, what the actor should say, how he should turn when he takes the breath in his speech. I mean, they know it exactly.
Brothers had storyboards of fight sequences that they wanted to see, certain, you know, punches and kicks and flips that they wanted to see. I see some of the framing of, you know, Frank Miller. There are some Japanese angles and perspectives in it.
Dodge this.
They worked with people that they knew from the comic book world and designed these fantastic things.
We went into the first Warner Brothers story meeting, and they said, okay, now we know we've bought something cool. We don't know what it is.
Could you just take us through it once?
They helped translate the movie for us. Nobody really understood the level of the action that we wanted in the action sequences, and then when we'd show the storyboards, people would go, oh, geez.
The scale that you can pull off the comics is just always fantastic. You can freeze a moment and make an image that sort of sustains. There's some action I think you can do a lot better in comics. There's some things that work better in film. Kung Fu is great on film.
Now, I'm supposed to start with these operation programs first. That's Major Barton shit. Let's do something a little more fun. How about combat training? Jiu-jitsu? I'm going to learn jiu-jitsu.
And action!
Too close.
Or just throw your chest out.
We wanted to do the action differently, and one of the things that we love about Hong Kong action is the way that they shoot fight scenes with long takes and wider angles. But they also do this wire work, which is, it's very fluid, and people, you know, fly around and jump incredibly. It's very balletic, and everybody has like superhuman and supernatural grace. We wanted to bring that kind of wire work to our movie.
You don't have to go up so high like you're reaching for. More out. It just looks better. Yeah.
When I first became involved, Larry and Andy were a little frustrated because their dream was to work with this guy that had done Fist of Legend. And through contacts in Hong Kong, we tracked the guy down, turned out to be Wu Ping.
Wu Ping rocks. He's one of the best. We love his movies. We've been watching them for years. I think it's a good for Lawrence.
He said, I really don't know how they got my number and about me. All that he knew is he was in Beijing making a movie and got a call from Hong Kong saying that the two brothers were really interested in talking to him. He said, I'm very busy, I don't have the time. And then the call came again. He read the script and he thought that script was a very brilliant script. So he decided that he should do it.
One of the incredible experiences on this movie, and unlike any other movie I've done, is that our four leads spent 3 or 4 months training with Wu Ping and his Hong Kong stunt team.
These aren't athletes, they're actors. You know, when you want someone to paint your house, you hire a painter, not an actor who makes believe he's a painter. They really had to learn a fighting style that they never had learned before. It was a tremendous hardship, but it is evident on the film when you see it that that's Lawrence and that's Carrie Ann and that is Keanu in those scenes doing that stuff.